In 1952, a group of kids in a small West Virginia town watched something blazing across the night sky. They thought it was a meteor until it landed in the hills and stood up. What they found that night would become one of the most terrifying and mysterious encounters in American history. This is the story most known as the Flatwoods Monster. Was it from another planet or something much darker? It began on the evening of September 12, 1952. It was just after sunset when two brothers, Edward and Fred May, and their friend Tommy Heyer, saw a fiery object streak across the darkening sky. It glowed bright red, trailing a thick tail of smoke as it crashed into a hill on the edge of their small town, Flatwoods, West Virginia. Thinking they had just witnessed a meteor, the boys ran to tell Kathleen May, the boys' mother. Intrigued but cautious, she grabbed a flashlight and gathered a few neighbors, including a 17-year-old National Guard member named Eugene Lemon, to go see what had possibly fallen. Together, the small group hiked up the steep wooded hill toward the crash site. As they got closer, they noticed something strange. The air smelled sharp and metallic, almost like burnt machinery mixed with sulfur. A dense mist hung low to the ground, and a faint red glow pulsed from the trees ahead. When they reached the clearing, they saw it. A glowing sphere half buried in the ground, humming softly. Then came the moment they would never forget. From behind a large oak tree, a tall shadow began to move. Eugene lifted his flashlight, and that's when they saw it in full view. A creature at least 10 feet tall floated just above the ground. Its head was shaped like a spade, glowing with a fiery red hue. Two eyes burned like hot coals beneath a dark metallic faceplate, and its body looked like armor, shiny, mechanical, and gliding without sound. As the light hit it, the creature emitted a piercing hiss and released a thick toxic gas that made everyone's eyes water and throats burn. The group screamed and fled down the hill in terror. When they reached back to the town, several of them were physically ill, their throats swollen, eyes irritated, and faces pale from shock. Word spread quickly, and within an hour, local police and reporters arrived. They searched the hill, but the glowing light was gone. All they found was a strange circle burned into the earth, still warm, and an overwhelming smell of sulfur that hung in the air for days. The next morning, government officials and Air Force personnel reportedly visited the site. Locals claimed they took samples of the soil and warned people not to talk about what they'd seen. The official explanation was simple: a meteor and hysteria. But the witnesses never changed their story. Over the next week, strange things began happening around Flatwoods. Dogs barked endlessly at the woods, farmers reported mechanical buzzing sounds coming from their fields at night, and several people said they saw glowing red eyes peering at them through the trees. Whatever had landed in those hills, it wasn't gone. Decades later, the US Air Force listed the case under Project Blue Book, America's top secret UFO investigation program. Their conclusion claimed it was nothing more than a misidentified meteor and an owl. But if you ask the people of Flatwoods, they'll tell you something very different. That what they saw that night wasn't an owl at all, or a meteor, or even human. Maybe it came from the sky, or maybe it came from somewhere far worse. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe for more real-life horror. And let me know down below in the comments what you think the Flatwoods Monster really was. Because one thing is for sure, some encounters were never meant to be explained.